Hey everybody, Justin here with EcoDiesel. Wanted to share what working with today. I made a video earlier, obviously on the YouTube channel, but wanted to basically mention, obviously I'm working on 6.7 PowerStroke. So got a few things that we're doing with this one to help improve it. There's a lot of tricks to this stuff, and kind of the design of this motor is different. It's not definitely like 6.0, 6.4, 6 or 7.3s. So they've got some stuff going on that somewhat don't make sense, but makes sense. But wanted to share what I'm going to try to do, or attempting to do anyway. Like I said, we've basically put our coated cam bearings in here. And if anybody's familiar with the 6.7 PowerStroke, it starts from the back of the motor, and then it pumps oil down through into some galleys that you see down in there for the cam bearings. So then it feeds up through the cam, feeds the cam, then it feeds each one of the cam journals through a cam hole in the cam. And then these here, your main oil galleys on these 6.7s, run parallel, or well, actually more like about a 20-degree angle, but they do not intersect with the cam. So they go over here to the passenger side. It'd actually be the right passenger side of the motor into the lifter galleys. So there's some cool stuff about this. I know they're doing billet blocks or billet main caps. There's a bunch of stuff, but it's, you know, I understand what they're doing, but it's crazy. You know, a person's got an $80,000 or $90,000 truck, and like on this customer here, I think he had 190,000 miles on it. Pulls a lot of his excavating equipment up in the mountains, and he's pulling, you know, average 5 to 6% grade almost all the time. So with his grading equipment on it, and he spun a rod bearing it. And so that's the reason why he's had it at a few other machine shops, never really got it finished, and here it is. So, and trying to make it more improved, adding some more stuff in it. But one of the steps that we're going to do is, like I said, I mentioned earlier, the cam bearings being coated. It'll help with oiling, oil shedding, basically the same material like we run on our skirts with a lot of our coated pistons. And it just, I'm not 100% understanding of what some of the engineerings were thinking of. I know they're trying to do lighter weight. I would think that, you know, with these pan rails, you know, they were trying to move the center of the cam and the crank, you know, all this stuff up into the block, into the upper part of it, but they really lighten it up down here. And I see that the rigidity here is a lot, you know, kind of coming in because they come with the main bolts through here, in which we're doing ARP main studs and main bolts in the side just to try to strengthen it up. But I know guys are building these billet caps, and I just don't see where, obviously I get the cost, but when you got an $80,000, $90,000 truck and then you kind of put all this stuff in it, I mean, it's like, just to make these things stronger. I know they make more power than a 7.3 just because of the common rail, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm not going to rant and rave too much more on this, just showing what I'm trying to do. This customer's obviously got a tuned truck, just tows a lot with it, and that's about it. Don't have really a bigger turbo, bigger injectors. There's all going to stay in stock. You know, the injection pump's the same, which obviously I think he did a S&S, you know, Alliant Power S&S injection pump on this one. So, but I'll kind of show what the cam looks like. And there's the cam on these 6.7s. Really big cam, base circle, but this is where your oiling is going in. This is all going down. You can kind of see it's actually in conjunction until you get to the rear one, which has got a hole there and another hole on the opposing side, which that means that all the times it's got oil feeding through it, but as the cam's rotating or going round and around, it's coming out these holes to lubricate the cam bearings. And then the front one, it had the same, you know, the front bearing, cam bearing, and the rear cam bearing are the same bearing. It's just that, you know, the different locations, but it's got the same grooves in the front one as the rear one. So the front one is kind of seems like it's just a dump site, which it goes back over, and then it can kind of go into the cam retaining plate, lubricate all this up here. But this cam is hollow. You know, it's hard to see, but it is hollow all the way through. Kind of wild, but it's just, I get the rational thought of it, but just touching base on it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to reduce friction here, and then I have dry startups, even though there's going to be oil filling this whole cam. It'll help with startup, so that way the oil is going to finally get up to the top, or what oil is saved into the cam will feed to the rest of these cam bearings, and then that way with these cam bearings coated, we'll be able to have some protection there. And a lot of the coatings that we run on these cam bearings is like a hydraulic wedge. It just is it's a polymer coating, that helps protect. Not really protect. It's more like an oil shedding, but it's like a glue. It'll kind of hold the oil onto the bearing. So anyway, that's all I wanted to touch base with. So we're getting this one together sooner than later. I've got coated cam bearings, or excuse me, good Lord, coated main bearings and coated rod bearings for this too. And kind of I'll do another video on that down the road as we get further into it. Got the heads all done on this one, so we're just assembling. We're just going through and checking everything, make sure everything's right, and kind of making the things right, because it's a little bit different than most of my 7.3 stuff that I build. But just wanted to show what a 6.7 looks like, with no crank, no caps, and basically just, kind of, she's just a raw block, or bare block, scenario. But other than that, man, I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got a YouTube page, EcoDiesel Dynamics, on there, and definitely like, share, and I'll try to keep more content up. I posted earlier today, so I figured I was in the middle of this thing and I could add some more content and share some more stuff with you guys. And this is kind of a new territory to me, but it's all nuts and bolts. It's the same principles, just way different design in the 6.0, 7.3, 6.4s. I've seen this on some kind of this platform on the Duramax, which the Duramax, oh my gosh, it's quite interesting how theirs assembled. Different world, different features. But we'll quit rambling on. I appreciate you guys watching and everybody liking and sharing. So anyway, y'all have a good evening. Thank you.